Hello, Cancer, and welcome to your monthly forecast. I'm Nicholas Ashbaugh. This is going to help you navigate the next 6 to 8 weeks, focusing on the month of September, but possibly going even a little bit further. These monthly readings can go as far as 6 to 8 weeks from the day that you watch them, so keep that in mind as we get started. I'd like to begin with channeled messages. What I was picking up on this morning in dreams and meditation was opportunity and a chance for you to walk away from an unnecessary challenge. So I saw a series of doors down this sort of spiritual hallway. It was basically a liminal space. And each of the doors had a label on it. And on one side, I saw like challenges. So it could be meeting arch nemesis or playing the role of anti-hero or the self-saboteur. And then on the other side, it was meeting like the love of your life or overcoming a fear and realizing your inner strength. And it's kind of like the moment where Neo starts to realize that he's not beholden to the program, he's the programmer. And so there are many opportunities this month to take a step back and see another path. So I would love for you, before signing on the dotted line, engaging in a conversation, saying yes to something, to take a step back and think, how did I get to this point? Is it in alignment with my soul's path? And if it isn't, is there another opportunity? Is there another door that I haven't explored? Buy yourself a little bit of time to explore alternatives. It's going to save you time in the long run because whenever you do commit to something, you'll know that that was exactly the door that you wanted to open. But for each block, I saw an opportunity. So if you feel frustration in one path, just turn a little bit to the left, look up, look around. There's something better waiting for you, okay? So that was the first thing, and it was pretty powerful, seeing yourself as the programmer rather than someone that's stuck in the program. And the other thing here was I saw like a close call or a wake-up call for some of you. And maybe there was something in your life. It could have been a wake-up call in your health. Maybe there was a financial situation that kind of brought you to the brink, and now you're back. Whatever that was, first of all, congrats on not letting it go even further than it needed to. And now this is very much a rebound month. Everything I was seeing was in the space of being above the planet. So kind of like the energy of the judgment card, rising up, reinventing, and again, getting that bird's eye view of the situation. You are not defined by all of your past success or lack of success. You are currently defining what your future is going to be by your present choices. So back to the first message. Let's focus on the here and now. Let's look at the doorways of opportunity, and let's help you pick the best thing for yourself. You're going to ultimately be the judge. I'm going to try to give you the map and try to help you see the hallway with all the doors. And that's how we're going to approach today's reading. Let's get started. All right, let's take a moment, let go of any sort of pre-existing thoughts that you have. Imagine a blue sky behind you, and as you look up into that blue sky, welcome in angels, spirit guides, ascended masters. Let's allow them to come through and bring forth any messages that you need to see. All right, open your eyes. Let's get started. In the catalyst position, we have Yamaya coming through representing hope. This is a goddess of water, divine feminine, the moon, sometimes depicted as a mermaid as well. So the ability to shift, to move, to change, that's all part of this particular energy. And with the card reversed, there could be a little bit of resistance on your part to lean into that change. And also maybe just to look at the emotions. So interestingly enough, if we glance down at the table, your center card is the moon. These two are absolutely tied together. In the spread, the moon is upright. So the opportunity as we're looking at the month ahead is to lean in to your ideas, your passions, and to release any fear or anxiety that might be coming through. Your creative, divine feminine side is playing a central, integral role to your success this month. One last note, and then we'll go to that center card. Really want to underline the word hope here. Your power of positivity could really be one of the amazing things that opens up some of the doors as well. So I just had to say that. Let's go to the center card now. We have the moon. The moon is powerful. It is a card of emotion. It's a card of intuition. And I think the main message coming through this month is trust your gut, trust your instincts. If something feels right, go for it. If it doesn't, then dig a little bit deeper and figure out what might be causing some of those sort of vibes. The moon card is also divine feminine energy. So again, nicely connected to everything we just talked about with that goddess. And so this is a chance for you to lean into creative endeavors. For those of you that are artists, this is your card. It's also saying you can channel any sort of fear, anxiety, or even anger into something that is productive. Let it be something that inspires you to make a change in your life or in your mind as well. If there's something that you don't like or don't want, this is a chance to say, okay, now I'm going to make the change happen. And in doing so, you actually regain your power. And that's what I get with this. The only sort of cautionary note with the moon card is honesty and integrity. Sometimes they're lacking when this card presents itself. It could be in your environment. It could be something even within yourself that you're thinking, I really just need to get real about this. I need to be more honest. So all of those messages come through. The cage in this card is unique. It's not a normal feature. And it's showing you that one thing that you can also do is what Spirit's kind of showing me is opening your mind, not kind of painting yourself in, sort of like what we would see with Eight of Swords, for instance. And you're opening your mind and opening your heart to new potential. Okay? Let's go ahead now and look at what's crossing this. And we have Three of Cups energy. So there could be a water sign coming into your life, a Cancer, a Scorpio, or a Pisces. What we see with Three of Cups is the beginning of something new, something big because it was the moon card. I also love that each of these birds has its own cup to enjoy and to drink. And the message that I'm also getting with this illustration and from Spirit is that there's more than enough to go around. So take a moment to say thanks to people in your life that have made things better, made things easier. Take a moment to celebrate all the success, the big and little sort of milestones. And also have some fun. Whenever this card comes through, it's an invitation from Spirit to go out, spend some time with your friends, your family, a loved one, to make a little bit more time in your life for just love, joy, and partnership as well. So we'll continue to look at this as we go through the spread. Typically, it's the beginning stages with this card. So if you just met a new friend or new love interest, it's that courtship, getting to know you sort of vibe and stage, and don't rush beyond that. I think it's really important to sort of sit in that for a moment and decide, is this who I want to spend more time with? Again, it could either be in a friendship sort of thing or a love energy, and it's really, you can take it either way. But what we do see is new people and new opportunities knocking on one of those virtual doors. So be open, if you will, and see where it takes you. You've been doing some work. I really love what I see here in the deep past. We have the Three of Wands. The card is reversed, and it's reminding you to keep your eyes open. So on this card, it's kind of unique. We have a star in the upper corner. Definitely don't limit yourself. Reach for the stars, and also remember to look for silver linings, look for other doors that are opening. You know that I like to say this phrase as much as possible when I see a block, but it's basically follow the energy. If there's something where the energy isn't moving, that's not where you should be focusing. Follow the energy, and before you know it, you're going to get into that star power sooner than later. We also have a lot of water in this particular Wands card. It's always an element. You always see a person on a cliff in front of the water, but this one, it feels like the emotions are a little bit more prevalent. And it matches nicely with the Three of Cups. So we have water, water, and then we have a fire card, but a lot of water in it. So I think the challenge or the opportunity here is to not let your emotions cloud your view. Because, again, I'll pull the traditional Three of Wands while we're talking, but the thing that can either speed it up or block it altogether is the ability to look in the right place. So the message from Spirit is things are happening right here, right now, but you have to be ready and willing to know where to look and to keep looking. So here's your traditional Three of Wands. Again, always water in this card. So that person is feeling inspired, feeling what? Hopeful, even if there's been a challenge. And by doing that, if they're willing and ready to look at it from a new perspective, they see the star, they see the potential. So things could happen faster. There could be an opportunity right there, ripe for the picking. So don't focus on what you see or what you don't see. Focus on what else is around you and what is presenting itself right here, right now. There's more than meets the eye. In the recent past, we have a karmic lesson coming through and also just a little bit of perhaps why some of you are celebrating. 10 of Wands represents the end of a journey or very close to the end of a journey. Now we see this bird carrying that entire load of wands all on its own. There is an opportunity in this moment in time to let go of something, to basically allow yourself to step into the energy of graduation or release, but also to lean on other people if you need to. You don't have to carry the load. And so there may be relationships where you're used to doing everything, or jobs where you're doing the work of many, many people. Now's the time to let go of some of that. Because when you do less but do it better, actually going a few notches down in wands, we go back to the energy of success. Successful people don't have to micromanage and look and see and do everything. They work with a team. Notice on this particular Six of Wands, you've got the team there. You're rising above that into that energy of the sun or the star, and you're allowing yourself now to basically focus on the big picture. So if we look at these two cards together, we see again one person that's trying to do it all, one person that's saying, I don't need to do that anymore. I'm going to focus on something bigger, better, and brighter. Success is at hand. That's what we can always see whenever the Six of Wands is coming through. And your success is in leadership or leading the pack or getting ahead of things a little bit. So the encouragement is not to focus so much on each and every little piece of minutia. Again, so much energy with both the Three of Wands, which is typically a card of looking to the horizon, which I just showed here a moment ago, but I'm going to pull it one more time. So again, looking to the horizon to see those ships that are coming in. And then the Six of Wands, which in this deck is showing a bird's eye view, literally, because we're working with crows in this, okay? So there you go. So far, so good. Perspective is everything this month, though. You've got to allow yourself to rise up. One of the first challenging cards here coming through in the way of the Five of Wands. There's sometimes disorganization in this particular card. There's usually a lack of leadership, but we just saw the Six of Wands before that, so you might have to step into that role of being the voice of reason or sharing your vision with others, finding a common ground that's going to allow for more cooperative energy. The challenges could come in the way of competition, of duplicative energy, too many people doing the same thing, not, like wasting resources, time, energy, or money. And so pausing, doing a quick check or audit of what's going on, and then revising. This is what's going to bring you success. It's not just in work. It's in how you're spending your money, the relationships that you're putting your energy into. Is it a lot of work without a lot of return? If it is, might be time to shift or have a conversation with that person and see if you can even out the balance. Let's take a look and see how you're showing up here. And as we're doing that, by the way, I was taking a look at all the cards in this spread, about 6 of them, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, yes, are all wands. So there's a lot of energy of movement, ideas, and a lot of people kind of coming in and out of your life. So one of the things that you have to try to do is to not get lost in the shuffle. And that's a nice energy to look at when we're in this one. So the Eight of Wands represents, first and foremost, success and busyness. So it's a nice connection with this. So this is you stepping into the role of leadership, This is all the things that you're bringing into your life. You're still amidst all of that, but you're being asked to also look beyond what you're already doing. So this is a visionary sort of card, and that is going to allow for sustainable growth, sustainable opportunities. And I just see a very busy month, and you're able to manage it. This is a great card for business and for school and for learning and for personal growth. More than one door is in front of you of like opportunity. And so it's important to know how much time to spend in each part of your life when it comes to the relationship energy, the work energy, and self. Finding that perfect balance, that's going to be your main challenge this month, but I definitely see the ability to do more than one thing successfully, and we get both an end and a beginning here because recent past is something coming to a close with the Ten of Wands, and then we have an ace here in the outcome. So you're kind of somewhere between these ends and beginnings this month, and your ability to juggle is everything. So you're coming through great. You've done the work. We see you busy. What's going on around you? Some good stuff, actually. So we have the Nine of Pentacles. This is showing two things. You have the ability to get things done on your own, by yourself. You may also be working with someone who's very protective of their sort of like way of living, way of doing things, and it could sometimes be a little bit frustrating. So the opportunity this month is in allowing them to see that being collaborative doesn't mean giving up your power. Accepting help also doesn't show a lack of strength. And together, the two of you can get more done. So here's your traditional Nine of Pentacles, and we can see, the reason that one or both of you are very rigid or stuck sometimes in a way of doing things is it's proven successful. But it is slow. There could be a chance to just get something done a little bit more effectively and expediently by collaborating, okay? I like the snail, you know that. There's no rush. But if somebody has that last little piece, you don't have to prove it to yourself or to anyone else that you can do it all. This is a chance where together you could be stronger. Ultimately, what I like about this card is there are resources to be tapped into or to be had. So if you're finding yourself lacking support, lacking energy, lacking time, lacking money, this is in the environment, and it's saying, don't be afraid to ask. And don't be afraid to also present why it would be a good opportunity for the other person. Finding that middle ground for both of you could just open up even more abundance, okay? That's what I'm picking up on there. As we look at you, that's why it's important here. Hopes, fears, and opportunities. Five of Pentacles. It's a little limiting. It's more in the fear-based thoughts. So we see 3 birds up above, 2 birds below, and it's showing that you can either look at the past or the future. I'm going to pull the traditional card on this one as well. 5 of Pentacles typically comes through because of a setback in our past experiences, often in our youth, like that far back. And what happens is somebody, because they lacked imagination or vision, might have just said, you can't do it. Or they didn't give you the love and support that you needed when you needed it most. And that can sometimes lead you to be feeling like you're in that energy of lack. The birds up above, they're actually seeing the fruit, the seeds, all of the abundance that's there ripe for the picking. If you keep thinking of the past or thinking in a limited scope, you're not going to see what's right there in front of you. So a perspective shift and seeing yourself beyond the limitations of someone else's imagination. It's really what growing up is about on many levels, because we realize sometimes our parents were just human. A teacher was just human. Someone else could have just been going through their own stuff. And when you see that, it doesn't mean that you have to forgive them completely, although forgiving does free you up. But it allows you now to see your own power and strength and to no longer really need the validation. So letting go of the need to be validated and instead validating yourself. That's where the power comes. And on the heels of that comes a return to vitality. One of your second biggest challenges this month is maybe waking up and feeling the sense of being exhausted. I'm tired of this job, or I'm tired of this relationship, tired of things not moving in the right direction. That's okay. That's the first step in figuring out what you do want. Clearly, there's something that isn't providing either the sustenance or the inspiration that it once did. So through that sense of realization or disillusionment can then come, well, now I know what I want. Now I can pull this ace upright. I can go for it because there's not going to be any regret. I know what this one path leads. Let's go the other direction. Let's try something new. Ace of Wands is a light bulb moment, an aha, an epiphany. When it's reversed, we can sometimes also simply be overthinking it, or not allowing it a chance to kind of take spark, thinking, oh, that's not the practical thing, or this, what will people think, etc. Put that to the side. What do you think? What do you want? Really focus on your passion, your intuition. Give this light bulb a chance to shine and allow yourself to embark upon that new path that's in front of you. Because it does feel like some of you have learned everything you need to from a current situation. Now something better awaits. And because we had the Three of Cups touching that, it could be something that's a lot of fun. Okay, let's go ahead and expand this. We're going to now move into health, wealth, love, and destiny. We're going to go into mind, body, and spirit first. Let's see what this oracle card has to say. Beautiful energy here. Burning Hero. Okay, so if we look at this card upright, it kind of reminds me of a phoenix. Definitely this beautiful energy of rising up. In the reverse state, some of you may just simply be figuring out how to find that flame, that power, that energy once more. So from a health perspective, this is fatigue. And when we're looking at this, even as I'm talking about it, it's connected with solar plexus energy. So some of you may be having, it could be dietary actually, because what we eat also absolutely affects our energy. So speaking with a doctor or dietitian about proper diet and how that's affecting your energy, that could be step one. The other thing is an emotional component to this. So things that create a lot of stress tend to deplete our vitality as well. And then making sure that you're getting enough exercise and focusing on the core, the stomach, the solar plexus. All of these are the first messages that come through. Now let's look at the rest of the cards. Standard disclaimer applies here. I'm looking at energy. If there's anything going on in your health, work with the doctor, of course, and take whatever connects with you. The moon is all about emotions. Hope is one of those feelings. So if we can get ourselves into a place where we're feeling more hope, that's going to be great. But you could just be very sensitive this month. Things to avoid if you are having heightened emotions. The Three of Cups tends to be dealing with going to extremes. Sometimes drinking too much or any vice. You know, it could be eating, it could be working, it could be exercise, anything. Avoid extremes because that sometimes just creates more of that feeling of anxiety. What I do like about what I see here is the ability to basically find balance. It could be, I think for many of you, it's just how you're spending time and energy, because you don't have to do all the heavy lifting. By the way, speaking of that purely from a visual standpoint and a face value, if you are moving or if your job involves a lot of heavy labor, be careful. Particularly when it comes to lower back, we don't want to be lifting too much or lifting the wrong way. I see again, just for some of you, this feeling of repetitive. Actually, I'm getting like repetitive injuries here too for some of you. So make sure that you're taking breaks and listening to your body. Overall, it's pretty good here. One last message with the Five of Pentacles. This can also be associated with challenges with your foot, your ankle, your leg, and you want to make sure that you're not rushing through something. So this can be like not paying attention to where you're walking, slipping and falling. This is carrying or lifting too much. These are both avoidable. It's all about being present and looking where you're going. Okay, by and large, pretty manageable when it comes to health. We did not get a Tower or a Devil card, so awareness is the main takeaway here. Solar plexus is the main place to focus. Let's go ahead and move on from health to wealth. We're going to look at resources, your life purpose, and your career. This card came through reverse, but let's look at it upright. It says, plant seeds of intention. Go, grow, and then glow. I love all of that. So have you slowed down long enough to plant those seeds? A lot of times when we are, whether you're just working a really intense job or you're a parent or a caretaker or all of the above, because sometimes we're juggling multiple roles, we no longer are an active sort of director and producer in our lives. We just kind of go through the reruns. So I would love for you to hit pause on your current era or season and think, what's the next arc in my character growth? And you don't have to achieve it overnight, but you're going to set something into motion. I intend, I hope, I aspire to do this. Then you can work with others, then you can work with yourself, and then start to sow the seeds of those intentions. But plan, that's the takeaway here. Take a moment to plan, to assess, and to figure out what it is that you want to do next. All right, let's take a look at 3 major categories in career. We're going to look at those that have a job, those that are job seeking, and then we'll look at students and retirees. For those who already have a job, I actually feel like you're doing a great job here in general because so many wands, like predominantly wands. So a lot of forward momentum. Your biggest challenge in an existing job could be overall morale. The moon can show that people are just going through some things and there's nobody that's listening to it. So getting leadership's attention so that things can get brought back into a better place, that's one thing. Be mindful of the sort of water cooler conversations because 3 of Cups is a gossiping card. So one thing that I would say here with this is just know who you're talking to. Make sure that if there's anything that's being said that shouldn't be said, that you stop, because I just recently pulled this in a daily reading. My warning is the same here. It has a way of getting back to the person that you're talking about. And you have so many positive things going. You don't want that, okay? On the upside here, though, there could be good word of mouth about you. And what I see about this is your ability to be a good coworker, to carry the load, and basically to produce. So keep doing the good work. One thing that could bubble up a little bit more is vision and leadership. This is where you have a chance to shine. The problem or the challenge here could be rigidity in someone opening up and allowing you to take on more because they like to protect. This is a territorial card. They want to protect their part. And don't be afraid. Don't be afraid of rejection. Speak up and just show by sheer action how much you can do. Pace yourself. If you're in a job already and this is something that you're happy with, it is not a race. It's a long distance run here, and you want to make sure that you have enough to cross the finish line. So don't take on more than you are expected or paid to. Don't work yourself to exhaustion. Share the load and focus on morale. These are pretty manageable things, but some of you just may be feeling a lack of inspiration or hope, in which case it's good to look around, because 3 of Wands and 3 of Cups actually show that whatever it is that you're looking for, you might have a chance of finding it. So if you're not getting the growth or the opportunities that you're looking for at this job, look around, and we'll be talking about that in just a moment here for job seekers. It's a good month to find something. If you're an entrepreneur, I want to hit on that before we look at job seeking. It's a great month to be an entrepreneur. What we have here with 8 of Wands is one of the best cards for business. This represents a lot of demand. The main thing here is, are you prepared to keep up with that demand? And then we also see kind of like ebbs and flows. So there may be one really intense month, like the one that we're heading into, and then it kind of like bottoms out a bit. So one thing to focus on in business is how can you basically pull out the sort of ebbs and flows so that there's not these sharp highs and sharp lows. Maybe it's offering more seasonal things to kind of fill in the gaps. When certain things go out of season, what can you actually take advantage of right now, right here? So trends and seasonal sort of energies, look at that. I think the other thing here is retention. We're not just talking about like the people working for you, but we're looking at customers. What can you do to get them to come back? Is there any sort of incentives, whether it's coupons or, again, listening to their feedback? What is it that you aren't doing that you possibly could create? So are there any gaps in what you're producing? All right, let's move on now to job seekers. Job seekers, it's interesting because it feels like there are some blocks here when I'm looking at the near future, and that could lead into fears, but I want you to look around. Like I keep going back to the traditional card, because if this 3 of Wands central figure is looking at us or looking in another direction, they miss the ships there. So I want you to make sure that you're looking in all directions and that you're looking to new growth, not just what's in front of you, but other opportunities. At least 2 to 3 weeks for some of you before that door opens, but we do end the month on an ace. So yes, the ace is touching a card that is not quite supplying what it needs to with resources, yet you are worth way more. So don't accept a low ball offer, even if it is the only one. Try to negotiate a little bit. I mean, sometimes we have to take it, but I would love for you to look around, because we have the Five of Pentacles and the Nine of Pentacles here, Nine of Pentacles in the environment. So it feels like there's one that's a little bit better. So keep looking. And if you have to take something, maybe a short-term job is better than nothing, but I feel like there's something that is more respectful and more receptive to what you're worth. So keep looking around for that, and it may involve you kind of imagining yourself in a different role, different industry, kind of repackaging your skill set, and that could lead to something better, okay? Looking at those who are happily retirees first. The focus right now is on community, on friendship, on mixing and mingling. I love that. And I also think that some of you are putting increased focus on health. And so the people that you love, your body, and then also what else is coming through. I think that it's good to be busy. You don't necessarily have to, there's kind of like this nice split between socializing and then just self-development. So health, personal development, and socializing are coming through for those that are retired. Students, really be careful of exhaustion. This can be a cold or flu, and it's coming because of how much work you're carrying right now. Make sure that you pace yourself, obviously. I do like what I see overall. It looks like you're in a place where people are listening to you, or you're getting good advice or good leadership in the realm of training and schooling, so that's good. I love the social energy here at the center, and I like the creative energy too. I think the main thing here is health and not overworking yourself. So just taking care, okay? Overall, it's a pretty good month when we're looking at work. I'm not worried. Put a plan out there for the future, no matter which stage of life or work you're at, because that is going to set the stage for what comes next. Let's move on to relationships here. We have the golden egg coming through as we look at love. The card is reversed, and it's a reminder. This is like an Ace of Pentacles. In order for that egg to hatch, it needs someone to watch it, someone to keep it warm and keep it fertilized and all of that. So what are you doing? It's kind of interesting that we have this seed of intention in wealth, and then in love, we have the golden egg. They're both sort of like types of seeds or containers. And so it's like, okay, you've got something here. What are you doing to create growth? So we're looking at a relationship. The golden egg could represent pregnancy, by the way, but it could also just be a new relationship. Ace of Pentacles in reverse is realizing that there's still some work to do on yourself before you try to connect with someone else, or it's asking someone else to show up in the way that you need them. One side or the other, possibly both, need to do a little bit of work before things are balanced. So we'll look at that as we take a look at the different relationship types. That includes, by the way, those in a relationship, looking for love, or happily single. Let's dig in. All right, for those of you in a relationship, as I said, we have the moon and we have this golden egg. This is pregnancy, this is birth, same thing here. So if you've been trying to get pregnant, this is an auspicious symbol, so keep me posted. The other thing that I see in current relationships, it's figuring out how to kind of just like enjoy the moment without focusing so much on the work element, because let's face it, relationships are work. You're deciding to be there at the best and most challenging moments, but you have to kind of go back to the past, which is there was a connection, there was love, there was friendship, there was camaraderie. And what we see here is not feeling like you need to lean into the role of parent or boss, and really kind of trying to find as close to a 50-50 showing up in the middle kind of energy as possible. Celebrating success, because it does feel like one or both of you could be in a moment of success, knowing that one partner's success doesn't mean that the other one isn't experiencing it. You are like energies, you are partners. This is your success as well. There's an outsider energy coming through here. It could be friends, it could be family members, there could even be someone from the past. And the moon is underneath it, so don't let them kind of rain on your parade or weigh in too much on how your relationship is. You two know one another the most. Have some boundaries here if you need to. There could be someone that's overstepping. Financial and health matters are really key focal points that could either lift up or detract from the overall success this month. Five of Pentacles, usually, because I see a lot of good energy around wealth and productivity. I think this is more about health. So not working yourself to the point of exhaustion, making sure that there's a feeling that both of you are supported. If there was an argument or some sort of a situation where you felt like wronged or like that person wasn't there for you, letting them know how that made you feel, or vice versa, just stepping up and saying, I'm sorry. There could have been a miscommunication here. It does seem very manageable, though. Keeping an open mind and really kind of trying to see it from one another's perspective is key. The only thing that's kind of interesting in this spread is this can be passion and how much time you're spending with one another, like intimacy. And it's not just, we're not just talking about physical intimacy. It could just be about sharing, like what's going on in your day, your hopes, your fears, all that stuff. Whatever kind of intimacy might be lacking, now is the time to really try to rekindle that. And it could be sort of going out on a date, hanging out with friends if you need to, whatever it is that rekindles the spark. Because it looks like there's still a lot to love here. The Three of Wands shows that the two of you really have plans and have visions for one another. So keep sharing those with one another so that the other partner knows that they're kind of not, being forgotten or on the outside looking in. But overall, a chance to start some new things if we want to kind of look at the silver lining of all of this. There could be a new job, a new child, a new project, something that you're birthing or creating. We see a success with one or both of you. And the only challenges, again, are possibly a little bit in communication, boundaries with third parties, and how to deal with money, time, and energy. Manageable couple things that we all face from time to time, but that's what I see. All right, if you're looking for love, can you find it? Yes, ... but I really want you to pay attention. If you feel a connection, go for it. If you don't try to talk yourself into it. Ace of Wands in reverse when meeting new people shows there may be an intellectual spark, but the physical spark is lacking, and you kind of need both in a relationship, in love in any way. I think the other thing to focus on is healing your body and healing your finances, because when that's in stable ground, then the partner that you pull in won't have to teach you any lessons in that. I think that many of you may be putting a lot of energy in personal development or work, and that could kind of like distract your vision of what's out there. I see options. Again, a fellow water sign could be coming through here with the moon, Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces. It looks like it's more of it's not something that's going to immediately go to something super serious. It feels like take your time to get to know the person and enjoy the dating process. I don't think that it's exclusive right off the bat either, so keeping a realistic sort of expectation on that first date or, again, the courtship process. If you want more, maybe talking about that, because there could be other people in the picture. That's what I'm seeing here right now. Traveling, moving, could also be affecting your ability to focus on things. So it's a yes, but I feel like the focus isn't so much on finding a partner right now. It's more on health, your finances, and getting better organization in your life so that there's more to give. A little bit of exhaustion and fatigue keeps coming through as I tune into all of this. So slowing down a little bit would be good. And if you do find someone, great, but it starts off slow. That's what I see. Okay. If you are single and happy, good for you. What I see for those that are single and happy right now is a chance, again, to rebuild anything in your life where you feel like it's lacking, whether it's your health, your finances, or you're just deciding in this moment in time, I want to learn something. I want to see something to completion. You're already closer than you think, and you're going to be able to take it to the finish line. Okay, let's go ahead and look at destiny. This is interesting, and it's right on the heels of all the relationship stuff. We have volcano and volatility. So there's a tower moment in the distance. And it's kind of up to you how you want to take it. I've looked at this deck a lot, but I've never seen the face in this card. So there's a face right there at the top. So facing your fears, facing change head on and saying, well, this is something that could be good. This is something that I don't want. Figuring out how to embrace necessary movement and change. And in doing so, then you become the agent of change and it becomes a good thing. If you avoid something, the tower moment could be waiting for you. So make the necessary changes this month so that when I read next month, we don't have to worry about that, okay? Volatility could also be showing emotional volatility, financial or health volatility. So if a balance is lacking in any of those categories this month, really put the energy and the focus there so that you can create a firm foundation. Let's now take a look at sun, rising, and moon sign messages and see what Spirit has to say. All right, let's move this over here so we have some space. Give the cards a shuffle. Sun, rising, and moon. All right, in the sun sign here, we have the Seven of Wands. It's a really interesting version of it. What we can see here is diminishing returns. So the birds over the side kind of chasing those wands. There's no way that you can sometimes do everything that's expected of you. It's better to say no. It's better to push back. And that is one of the central themes of the traditional Seven of Wands. So having limits, speaking up, saying no when necessary. It's going to make you a stronger leader, a happier person, and more effective in life in general. Let the other people waste the time and energy if they want to. It's really not something you have to do right now. Picking and choosing your battles well, because what happens sometimes with the Seven of Wands is we can feel like we need to go on the defensive for something that is common sense, but someone just isn't open to listening to it. It's kind of like you're trying to talk to that Five of Swords energy, and they got cotton in their ears. So save your time, save your energy, say no, work smarter, and this is going to help you not be one of those sort of lemmings going over the hill. You can be right there on top, focusing on what matters. And that's the takeaway there. So it's really just setting your own tone and being smart about time and energy and investments, working smarter. Let's move on to rising sign. All right, so we have the Eight of Cups, making breaking cycles. The card is reversed. Some of you may have this inclination to go back and finish something, whether it's getting your GED or finishing a home improvement project, or you had this goal for yourself that you've just been constantly putting to the side. This month, you're saying, I'm worth it. I deserve it. I want to do it. There may be unfinished business with a loved one in your past, and you have a chance now to clear it out, clear out that energy. Say, I'm sorry. Say, I'm angry. Say goodbye. Say whatever it is that you need to do. Or just simply to yourself and to Spirit say, enough now. I'm going to focus on something new. You may also be overdue for a break, a vacation, a chance just to get perspective. So give yourself a break if you haven't in a long time. It's almost related to what we just talked about working smarter. Working 24/7 isn't why we came to this planet. We are supposed to relax and have fun and take it all in. So give yourself time for that as well. Let's move on to the moon sign, the Two of Cups in reverse. So all of the sun, rising, moon energy was reversed, but that's okay. It's all within reach. It's a recalibration here. There could be love and relationship coming through. Make sure that the spark is mutual. Do you feel what they feel? Do you want what they want? Or is it something that is being projected and not really feeling like it's something that you want? I also get that you don't necessarily need as much validation here from external parties this month. So again, one of the cool things as you get older is it just isn't as necessary or even as fulfilling to get someone saying something if they don't feel it or mean it. So if it's natural, if it's organic, yay, and embrace it. But if it isn't, you're enough. That's really what this card is saying. You're more than enough for yourself. You're more than enough for someone else. If you're open to partnerships, they are coming through, but be discerning. Make sure that the spark is mutual. Make sure that the give and take is mutual. And if it is, then it's something magical and it's worth your time and energy. Okay, now is your chance to look at one final question, something that is still in your mind. I do my best to look at everything, but I know some of you have a unique challenge that's in front of you. Close your eyes. Let me go ahead and shuffle the cards. And let's see what the guidance is on that last question. Oops. It's a good card actually overall. So we have the Seven of Cups. It's in the upright position, and it's saying give yourself a chance to dream, to explore. Now, as a yes or no, what it's saying is remember those magic 8 balls? It's kind of like not enough information. It's cloudy. You need to do a little bit more digging. Get to the bottom of, look at the fine print, ask some more questions, because it's either intentionally vague or there's just a little bit more to be discovered before you're clear on if it's right for you. So be more inquisitive, more curious, get a little bit more info. Also, some of you may simply not know what your focus or desire is. So Spirit's coming right back with a question, which is, yes, you can accomplish this, but what are you aiming to get out of this experience? And we have all the different things that you could get. Is it something for love? Is it something that brings you power? Is it something that's bringing you spiritual growth? What's the goal? What's the purpose? With intention, things can come faster, and they're going to be more fluid and much more satisfactory at the end of the day. So it's you need more information. That's basically the answer to yes, no. For everyone else, this is just a great card for exploring the options, looking around, making sure that you've seen and considered everything in front of you. What a powerful reading. Thank you so much for allowing me to be a channel and to bring forth these messages. If this resonated, do me a favor, hit the subscribe button, like the video, and leave a comment. Let me know what really is in sort of like alignment with your path right now, and I always enjoy seeing where you're at. You can also give me a follow on social media. That way you'll get news and information and updates in addition to what YouTube decides to send out. So thank you in advance. It's optional, but this helps. If you want to give back a little bit more, you can do super stickers, super chat. You can also become a member, and all of these things help me rebuild my studio, create more videos just like this, and I just want to say thank you. Be mindful that there are people that pretend to be me on other social media platforms, so if anyone tries to send you a direct message or leaves a weird looking comment, just disregard. Be smart about it. The best way to connect with me is on YouTube in a live stream or watching the videos here. Otherwise, those are just imposters. Be smart. You can always go to my website to make sure that you're looking at the right social media handle, which I listed here, so feel free to do that as well. And that, my friends, is everything. Thank you for being the best part of what I do here on YouTube, for your enthusiasm, your support, for working on yourselves, and for making this a lot of fun for me as well. Take care, everyone. I'll see you soon. Have a great one.